DARE is to keep kids off of all drugs.
Wait, what does it stand for? Drug Awareness Resistance Education.
Dang, girl.
Hi, I'm Teresa.
And I'm Emily.
This is No Ordinary Friendship.
Hello, listeners.
Hello, welcome back.
Another day, another podcast.
I love seeing you in person.
Me too. I missed you. I go through withdrawals now.
Same.
Ever since we started recording and like seeing each other regularly, or at least like talking regularly, now I just feel like a little depressed. Like if I don't see you.
Yesterday, we spent 45 minutes on the phone together.
Talking like 5 minutes podcast and then 40 minutes
Gossiping and like chatting. I haven't talked on the phone for that long in a long time.
Same. I think I'm not a big phone talker.
Yeah, neither am I. What were we doing yesterday?
It was just, I don't know, like right time.
Yeah, right place, no kids. Yeah, I was on a walk.
Yes, every time that my kids are not sick home from school now, I celebrate because it is such a rare occurrence. And I'm happy for them too, that they're not like suffering.
Right. And winter's almost over, so hopefully.
Oh, yes, please.
I don't know. Is it almost over? We're getting like 4 rainy days in a row.
I don't know. Yeah. Speaking of, happy leap day.
Is that a thing that people say?
Well, it only happens once every 4 years.
It is very special. It is very special. Happy leap day to you too, Emily.
We should like do something special.
Okay.
I mean, not on the pod, but like.
What? Like what?
I don't know, like
get a cupcake?
Special treat. Any
excuse to get a cupcake
for a treat.
You sound like my husband. Every single day he's like, but I want a treat. Who wants a treat? Tyler, you want a treat?
I would enjoy being Steven's child, I think.
What? You'd be on Nagia every single day getting a treat. So now they're always like, treat.
It's okay. I'm queen of snacks. Like, lately, whenever the kids get off of school, there's like a group of Charlie's friends who are like, Charlie's car, I want Charlie snacks. And so now I have to bring extra to make sure I can feed all these crazy little like rabbit animals.
Does everyone get picked up at the same time?
Not everyone, but there's like 2 or 3 that happen to always like coincide. And yeah, I'm now like the snack person.
Are you friends with those moms? Or dads?
Well, a couple of them are actually dads, mostly, that come. And we've been in the same class for a couple of years, so we know each other. Yeah. But it's not like
your besties.
Yeah.
You're not
I wouldn't have
together.
A pod.
There's this one mom that I talked to at our old preschool. She said that she literally tried to avoid dropping her daughter off at a specific time to avoid another mom.
Really?
Because she was like, I just gotta get in and get out. This other mom, I think she like really wants to like chat it up every single time. And I just felt bad for both of them because they were not in sync.
Oh, no. That's severe. Like, okay, so I had an awkward run-in. I think I told you, like, my ex's best friend's daughter now goes to Charlie's school.
Wait, hold on. Let me think about this. Ex's best friend's daughter.
Yeah.
I don't think I know exactly who it is. You have to tell me later.
Okay. But anyway, I mean, they're totally nice and not like I have beef with them. I don't even have beef with my ex, but it just like felt a little bit awkward.
Right.
And now I see them like on a weekly basis at least.
Interesting.
But it's friendly, I think, on my end.
Yeah. I mean, we've all moved on at this point and had other kids.
It's less awkward than if my ex's kid went. Right?
Yes. Like, although I think he would have moved on by now.
Yeah. I think you just make
maybe you have, but maybe not him.
Yes, he has.
Okay. All right. Well, pop culture.
Yes.
We love taking our kids to school and also watching
Abbott Elementary. So
Love
the
it.
new season just came out. I'm excited because we really had been struggling to find something to watch.
Like you and Victor?
Me and Victor, yes. Because we always watch something after the girls go down for bed. We eat dinner, and sometimes it's like 9 p.m. But we like to have something to watch while we're eating dinner.
You do that.
And we've tried shows like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which I won't get into, but it's like very slow.
Really?
At least so far. We've watched like 2 episodes.
I heard that's good. Somebody highly recommended that to me.
Interesting. I don't know. It's like kind of like this weird, dark, slow, dry humor type show that I don't know.
You're not into it.
I'm not into it, but I'm not like, I want to watch more.
Okay.
You know? Like, I would watch it once Abbott Elementary runs out. But Abbott Elementary is so
I love
good.
it so much. I binged a lot of it and rewatched a lot of it when I was on maternity leave last time.
I didn't even learn about it until last year.
Wait, what season are you on? Oh, you're on the latest.
Well, we caught up. Yeah, we're on the latest one. But I think it was our friend group that suggested it.
Yeah.
And
Me
I
and
really
Gloria
like
really
it.
like it.
Yeah.
I just think that you watched the latest episode on drugs.
Yeah.
Such a good twist.
That is so funny, too, because right before that, that part where the guy's like rapping on stage, I was telling Victor, I was like, oh, I remember when we caught our DARE officer smoking.
You do?
And he goes, yeah, but cigarettes aren't illegal. And I was like, that's not the point. Like, DARE is to keep kids off of all drugs.
Wait, what does it stand for? Drug Awareness Resistance Education.
Dang, girl.
I don't know how to remember that. But I think maybe I had a t-shirt or something. I still remember the black t-shirt with the red. Is that a California thing or nationwide?
I don't know.
Okay, well, listeners, if you're outside of the country or outside of the state, it was like I think it starts at elementary school where they like.
Definitely elementary.
It's an anti-drug program.
Yeah. Was it always a cop?
Center.
Because that was when I was in New York. It was like a cop that came in to like educate us. Was it for you?
I have no recollection of whoever came down. I just remember the t-shirt.
Just the t-shirt.
Wait, who did you catch smoking? Was it in New York?
Cop. Yeah, it was in New York. It was our DARE officer. Like, he was called like the DARE officer. And he would come and I guess like talk to us about drugs. And then we saw him like on campus smoking like next to some like shed or something.
Were you guys in elementary school or middle school?
Elementary school.
But it's true. It's not a drug.
I guess.
Right?
But I mean, I think he was telling us not to smoke.
Right. Yeah.
And he didn't say, by the way, I smoke.
Okay, this is totally off topic. Abbott Elementary, we highly recommend.
Yes.
Love is Blind Season 6. Emily.
Yes.
I put that in all caps.
Yeah.
Because I was obsessed and I still am obsessed. And by the time this episode comes out, I just want to say like PSA, Love is Blind is on Netflix. And if you have never watched any other season, you don't need to. But season 6 is very good.
Okay. Is it like all out already? All the episodes?
No. So that's why I think it's great if you watch it now, because now isn't like when this episode comes out, because like all the episodes will be out. They're doing this weird release thing where it's like 6 episodes and then 3 and then 2 and then 1. And people are going crazy, like fiending for more, you know? And so a lot of this stuff is coming out on social media. People have theories, conspiracy theories, but also a lot of shit has come out, which I guess is part of the fun as well. But
shit about the contestants or whatever?
Yeah. So, I mean, all right, this is spoiler, but also not, because this is like a month after it comes out.
Okay.
But people have been exposed as having like girlfriends when they were applying or like fiancés.
What?
And yeah.
Why? Why would you do that?
I think
for fame.
Yeah, they're like at season 6 now, so
interesting.
It's a pretty popular franchise show. I stopped watching it a couple seasons ago because I thought it was getting boring. Like everyone just wanted to be famous. But this one, our friend told me to watch it, and I'm like way further ahead than she is.
Maybe I should watch it too. Although, I texted you? I watched the first episode of Summer House.
You did?
Yeah, this latest season.
Well,
just because of Paige, and I was like, okay, I'm going to see what the hype is about.
Interesting.
And it was okay.
I don't think you would like it.
I mean, it just feels like real world. Like, but then what? They only go for the weekend?
They only go for the weekend.
And then go back to their regular life? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
And that's how it started. But it started like 8 years ago, right? When they were all in their 20s and early 30s. Yeah. Now they're in their 30s and they're like early 40s. So it's not the same vibe
and there's
anymore.
Like married couples.
Yeah, there's married couples. And there's just so much history and nuance. So I feel like the show, it should have
stopped.
Change people out.
Evolved.
Like, yeah, it should have been like always 20-something and 30-something year olds going to the Hamptons to party instead of following this group along. Because now it's gotten so dark and deep and like broken engagements, which is why a lot of people are watching this season.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I don't know if you're going to continue watching.
I don't know if I am either.
I don't know.
I'll check out Love is Blind. Although it just makes me feel like, oh, wow, look at these people with no kids. They could just go to the Hamptons for the weekend and get drunk and then sleep and eat bacon. And
do you think about that for everyone that doesn't have kids? Or like, look at these people that have kids that are older and just living their lives too.
That's true. That will be us one day.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of love, I was randomly thinking about Love After Divorce, not the Netflix show, but just in real life or on Instagram, I guess, because I guess we've followed influencers for so long now that there are certain big ones that have gone through divorce and maybe are now like onto their next love.
Yes.
And I thought that was really cool. And it's also interesting to see, I feel like it's kind of like once bitten, twice shy. They're more cautious about what they share or when they share it. So one example is Chriselle Lim, who I feel like I followed since like the early days of Instagram. And she is, I think, our age. She has 2 girls. She's Korean and her ex was Chinese. So I kind of felt like, you know, a little like related to her.
Her ex was Chinese.
Yeah. And I think randomly her ex has a cousin who's from Saratoga. Like Evelyn told us that before. Yeah. Super random. But she got divorced and then now she has a new boyfriend who it seems like they're very much in love. But I think only recently in the past like couple weeks, she like finally revealed him on social media. And
like she hard launched him.
Yeah, she hard launched him. And
are you laughing because that's like a Gen Z term that I just used?
I like don't even know that term.
It's basically like being Facebook official.
Oh, okay.
But in like this age.
Yeah, so she hard launched him. And he's like, I think he's French or something.
Yeah.
So they're long distance, but they both have kids and they like I think over the holidays like took their blended family, she called it, to Hawaii together. And it seems like she's really happy. So I'm happy for her. And then I don't know if I misread it, but Bag Snob, Tina Chen.
Yes.
She also got divorced maybe last year or something.
Yeah.
I feel like in one of her Instagram posts, she was like, this is one of my new like Sunday traditions with the boyfriend.
Oh.
And she didn't like reveal anything more than that. So I don't know, like, did I misread that or did she like post someone else's post because I was just scrolling?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's possible, right? Like, why
She's-
wouldn't she
She's
date
very
again?
like young. Or how, she's like what, late 40s, 50s?
I'm not sure.
But she has a very young face.
And she's
very
an
young
empty
energy.
nester now because
Yeah.
her son is in college. So
Wow.
yeah.
Good for them. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that gives me hope. Not that I'm... But I just feel like when people think about divorcees or something, they feel like for the women, it's over. Like the guys will move on, find younger girlfriends. But for women, it's...
Totally.
This reminds me of Kristen Cavallari. Like she recently... Sorry to say this, hard launched her new boyfriend. So do you remember her from Laguna Beach?
You know, I never watched that show. I never watched. I only know like Spidey, right? Was a couple. Heidi and
Yeah. I was called that. Yes, I was thinking Spidey, like the Spider-Man kids show.
But yeah, I never watched it.
Yeah, so you don't know the drama between
I don't
like
really know.
Lauren Conrad
No.
and... Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you have like...
I lived on the like peripherals of it or whatever.
So she was one of the main characters on Laguna Beach. It was always like her as kind of like the more rebellious girl, you know? People were either like more on her side or more on Elsie's side when it came to the boyfriend. That's neither here nor there.
Did they have
both
a
moved
mutual
on.
boyfriend?
Elsie was like Lauren was very close to her boyfriend, Kristen's boyfriend, Stephen, who was in her grade. And that's what the fake drama was all about at the end of the day. When they were in high school, which is crazy that a parent
and that was like
signed them
the
up.
olden way of reality shows, right?
So she has since moved on to Nashville. She has a very successful reality TV career and like a jewelry line. She was married to an ex-NFL player. She has 3 kids that are 11, 9, and I don't know, some other elementary school age. Her ex-boyfriend or ex-husband, sorry, is 40 years old. She's around our age.
Okay.
Her new boyfriend is 24.
Whoa.
And she posted him on Facebook or TikTok or something. And my
Is
friend...
he ready to be a dad?
I think it's got to be just for fun.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Which is fine if they're both like on that same page.
Yeah,
right?
like he's a TikTok star. You know?
Oh, okay.
And he also played football for his college thing. Anyways,
So
all
she's
that
got
to
a
say... Yeah, she's got a type. And all that to say, like, you can go older or you can go younger.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like as long as you're successful and you're independent, you can just do whatever you want.
Totally. Yes, that's why our podcast has to really take off. So we'll have options.
I just thought that was really funny because our friend also looked this guy up on Instagram. She's like, oh my God, all of his pictures are literally like college pictures.
Oh my gosh. That's really interesting though, because they're just like in such different life stages. I wonder what the conversation is like over dinner.
Maybe there's not a lot of conversation. But good for her.
Totally.
Whatever fills your cup.
Yes. No judgment here.
Okay, on to parenthood and family. This is something that I was telling you about before, but I forgot.
Yeah. We cut it out of a previous episode.
I lost my train of thought as I was going through it. But something that I thought was really interesting was I saw on TikTok this woman was talking about her PPP method. Every single day, she's feeling very overwhelmed or overstimulated because she's always trying to do everything all at once. And so she decided that every single day you pick one of the P's to be. Are you going to be present? Are you going to be productive? Or are you just going to be at peace? Yeah, so that way you don't feel bad because there's sometimes where I'm trying to be productive, but then I feel bad I'm not playing with my kids enough. But if you choose intentionally to be like, I'm going to clean out this closet or I'm going to finish this podcast edit or something, like throw the kids in front of like an activity or the screen and don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
And so she was like, that has helped me be very clear with my boundaries on a day-to-day basis. And she's like, obviously you have to like lean in and be present for certain times, like if they're eating or whatever. But for the most part, the intention is there. And productivity means like you're getting shit done. Presence means you're like fully present with the child and like really being fully present instead of like half-assing it.
Yeah.
And then third one being at peace with whatever goes, you know, like just being at peace with whatever it is that happens that day.
I need that a lot more in my life, I think, being at peace. Because
Like, choose it.
I'm always like kind of like trying to balance maybe the productivity and presence thing and feeling like I can't do it.
Yeah.
So that's
I like
really
that
wise.
peace part. And that was the P that I forgot last time.
The most important one.
But she's like, yes, things will be a mess. Like, yes, things won't get done, but just be at peace with it and enjoy yourself. And choose that for the day.
I like that.
Because it won't get done later.
Yeah. And that's so funny. I saw like an Instagram recently that spoke to me, you know, with my sick kid saga. And it was like, maybe you couldn't get anything done today because your kid was sick at home, but you know what? You made them feel safe and you took care of them. And that is more important than like cleaning or doing the
100%.
dishes. But for some reason, I don't know if it's like our type A, like we've been working too much mentality. Like I'm just like, I didn't get anything done, you know? And that happened to me for like 2 straight weeks.
Totally.
But it's true. Like, what's more important than taking care of your
and
kid
making them feel
or
safe.
being with them or spending time?
And how lucky we are to be able to do that and not have to like rush to a
Yes. I
job.
think about that all the time because she wasn't super sick, but I had to take Charlie to 2 doctor's appointments. And I'll tell you about her allergy appointment later. But I was like, imagine if I was working and like stressed because I'm here for 2 hours, like the appointment ran long and like this is all I have to do. So I do feel lucky about that.
Oh, that's another thing about medical appointments. They almost always run long.
Yeah. And they're not penalized for it.
Nothing like it's like nothing else matters. Okay, whatever.
I had the next one, taking sleep for granted pre-kids. I think it just never occurred to me that like there would be a phase in my life where someone might wake me up any night in the future going forward. It's almost like a gamble, a roulette wheel.
I hate it so much because I'm a high sleep needs person.
You are. And you also don't sleep that well already, like without kids interrupting.
What happened to you? Or are you just thinking about
it? Since Cassie was sick like a few weeks ago now, and then Charlie had an ear infection, so they just took turns having like, it wasn't even that bad. I know people have it worse, but they've been taking turns waking me up. Like one cries out and then I like go in to check on them and I just have to like be there for a couple minutes and I can go back to my bed. But then I'm awake.
You can't fall
and
asleep.
It's like 2 a.m. or sometimes it's 5 a.m. 5 a.m. is the worst because then I'm like, well, it's so close to when I'm going to wake up. Might as well check my phone.
And then you can't stop.
Yeah.
And that's when I get text
so
messages.
I just feel like I've been like chronically tired because I'm not getting full sleep. And it's not even as bad as people who have newborns, right?
Totally.
Like going through that first year of sleep, it's really bad. And I can't imagine doing it again.
But I think you were expecting the newborn stage. Like,
true,
no sleep, right? Like, I feel like I didn't realize it would go on for so long.
Yeah, I know. Especially Charlie. Well, honestly, Charlie is typically very good. Yeah. It's just been recently, I think, with her ears and stuff like that. I'm not scared to go into her room because I can say like, okay, go back to sleep and I can leave. But Cassie is always like a coin toss because sometimes you go in and then when you leave, like as soon as you walk towards the door, she starts crying. So you have to come back. And like, it's like this tango.
So when they come wake you up or are they just crying in their room?
They're just
and
crying.
Okay.
Yeah. I know I don't have to. Like especially with Cassie, I'll usually wait a couple minutes, but I think I'm scarred from when she was sick.
Yeah.
I'm like, is she okay? Is she going to throw up? So I like run in there to check.
Is she going to throw up?
But yes, if you don't have kids yet, or if you don't have kids and don't plan to have kids, just like breathe in the luxury of uninterrupted sleep is all I have to say.
It truly is a luxury, but I don't even think you need to have kids to feel that feeling, because last night, right now I'm so caffeinated because I didn't sleep well last night.
Oh no.
Because my husband woke me up.
What?
He didn't do it on purpose, but
But you can have him go sleep in another room and he won't bother you, you know?
Yeah, but he was sleeping in Tyler's room, and then he came back to our bedroom, and then he left again. Oh, gosh. And then it woke me up again.
Oh, no.
And then he had to leave early for work today, so then he woke us up again, and then Tyler anyways, it was a whole thing. I'm really caffeinated because I drank to like keep up, and then I had coffee breath, so I was like, oh, I need to drink some tea to watch this out.
Double caffeinated.
Double caffeinated. But I hear ya. Like, sleep is just golden.
It's so golden. I'm just looking forward to the day when they decide they don't need to cry at night anymore, randomly. And it's not even so. I still have a baby monitor, which I know at some point I don't need to be doing that. I probably don't need to be doing it. I don't know when people stop.
I think you can stop when the kid is like, I don't want that in my room anymore. I heard that's when a lot of parents stop.
Okay. I don't know if they'll ever. But like,
you just start hiding it. You have a nanny cam.
Like, I don't think she needs to be like monitored in her sleep, you know? And Cassie too. Like, she's 2 and change.
Yeah.
But I do now turn the sound off at least. But I can still hear them crying, like through my sleep, through 2 sets of doors. And yeah.
It's that mother's intuition.
I think so.
There was one night Tyler popped up. We were co-sleeping, but he was on the ground next to me. We were in my parents' house, and it was 3 a.m. I just happened to like all of a sudden wake up. I heard him pop. I didn't hear him, but I just saw him pop up. I felt it. Yeah. I felt it. He was staring at me. I knew he was looking to see if it was like a little gopher. I could see like a very faint shadow because it's really dark. But I could tell that he was looking to see like if I was still there, if I was sleeping. Aww. And I pretended to be asleep, and I was like, God, please freaking go lay down. And I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to move. I'm not going to breathe. And he eventually popped back down. And he popped back up again. I was so nervous. And at that point, I was like, I can't go back to bed. I'm too anxious now.
It's that anxiety creeps up.
But he did go back to sleep after he was a little gopher.
Oh, good.
Have your kids ever slept talk? Or do you know?
That I don't know as much. Definitely... Maybe like when we've been in hotels, I've heard like little snippets, but not for long. It's like a, you know.
Yeah. Tyler, one time he was like, Mama, Mama. And for some reason, I knew that he was still sleeping. It was like a dream thing. And then he said like, oh, stop at every single station, okay? Like, because he had just gone on BART with my husband. And I was like,
reliving it.
Okay. And then I knew he was asleep. It was so weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess kids sleep talk, or just talking in their dreams.
Yeah. Well, Charlie, I think it's whenever she goes on antibiotics, I think she has like nightmares or night terrors.
Yeah.
So the first night she had this latest round of antibiotics.
Wait, she has night terrors when she goes on antibiotics?
So I don't like putting her on it. This time it was slightly better. It was only like the first night. Other times it was like every night she was on it. But she was like flailing and kicking and crying. So I went in and I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And she was like, I don't like the red light, the red door. No. And then in the morning, she told me she had a dream and it like lined up with the stuff she was saying. So I guess it was just like a very vivid dream.
Creepy.
Yeah. So
I didn't realize kids get dreams so
not just
early.
Kids. I think some adults. Because I always Google it.
Wait, with antibiotics?
Yeah.
That freaks me out.
Well, it's temporary. It's usually just when you're on antibiotics. Yeah. It doesn't like cause long term.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we got sidetracked.
Yes.
Clothes in bed. I was thinking about how I used to be very particular, like no outside clothes in my bed for sure. Maybe you could sit on top of my bed.
You're like Evelyn.
Like, at the foot of my bed. Would you go outside in your outside clothes and then sleep in your bed, Emily? That's a yes.
I don't know. So yes and no. So I don't care, but I do usually change before I get in bed. Just because I don't get in bed until like I'm going to sleep.
Oh, so then...
But like
if you're
on the
thinking
weekends,
midday nap.
yeah, on the weekends, like we've gone out with the kids and then I'll just get in bed.
Okay. Like with the outfit that you have on?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't wear jeans because they're not comfortable.
Right.
So I usually change if I'm wearing jeans, but not for the cleanliness.
For comfort.
Yeah.
Well, so kids are gross. And they're like climbing everywhere, right? And Logan just gets into my bed. I'm just like, whatever.
You totally give up. You're standard.
It's just one of those things. I was thinking like, what else have I given up on that I used to care a lot about?
Well, we've talked about the temperature of food.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yes. That was the only thing I could think of too, actually. But I thought the bed thing, I was like, I'm so kind of grossed out, but I'm just going to let this happen.
Oh.
Because out of sight, out of mind, I won't remember it
My
later.
car is a disaster. And I just have to accept it.
Have you ever done detailing?
No.
Like when
I
it comes
actually
to
was
your-
thinking today, I want to hire someone to clean their car seats.
Oh.
Because there's a local mom who posted that she cleans baby equipment. And I think it's time.
How does she do it? Does she like just take all the covers off and then wash
I don't know.
them?
I think she must have like a portable vacuum or steamer or something.
That's smart.
Yeah, I might message her.
I did that myself too. But you just don't want to do it?
I mean,
it's a lot of
I don't
work
think I'll do as great of a job.
You're supporting a local business.
Yes. But I did want to ask you, because you were saying yesterday that I should hire someone to steam clean for the first time. What is that about?
Well, tell me about the allergy.
Oh, yes. Should we just jump to that?
Yes.
So yesterday I took Charlie to get allergy tested because she seems to have like year-round like runny nose, sneezing, itchy eyes.
You thought she
itchy
was
skin.
allergic to San Mateo.
Yeah. I thought
All
it was
of
a
it.
pollen in San Mateo. And she does have some tree allergies, but the worst ones, I'll show you a picture later of her back because that's how they test them.
Okay.
Was dust mites. Like 3 out of the 4 dust mites, she had like huge like reactions to it. And so I already started, like she used to have this sheet draped over her little house bed frame because she wanted a roof. And I took that away because they're like any sort of cloth is like home to dust mites. And then I hot washed, you have to do either like high heat or freezing to kill them. So I like hot washed her pillowcase, like blankets, all of that, some of her stuffed animals. And I took a bunch of her stuffed animals out. But like the carpet, you can't wash. Her curtains, you can't wash.
Yeah.
And I also want to like steam clean her mattress before I there's, I guess, these like allergy covers that basically like completely seals it so that like dust mites can't get in.
What are dust mites?
They're just like tiny microscopic bugs. And they don't drink water. They said they like absorb it from the air. So you want to keep things low humidity. Which we've been running her humidifier because we're like, oh, like her skin is
breeding
dry.
dust mites in that.
And then they like warm, humid environments because like they need that water to survive.
Okay.
They're so tiny, they don't need a lot of food. And apparently it's gross. They eat like our dead skin cells and stuff and they can survive off of that. So they really don't need a lot. And okay, one of the grossest statistics or things that I read on the paper was
You did a lot of research.
no, this was the handout they gave me. It said if you have, they said get rid of down because like down feather stuff also is like a breeding ground. And if you have a down pillow that's more than 3 years old, it's possible for 70% of its weight to be dust mites.
Emily, I have
Isn't this
so much
disgusting?
down.
I'm getting rid of like all of our down stuff.
Is down alternative okay?
I don't know. But I'm going to get, I already ordered like pillow covers. I'm going to order a mattress cover, mostly for her room because like, I think we're okay.
I'm disgusted
But I am,
now.
I know. And even I think not down pillows, they say like a lot of it can be dust mites if it's old. So I'm getting rid of all of our pillows except for ones that I bought last year.
This took a turn.
Yes. I'm sorry for all the grossness, but hey, it's education. People have been
is.
saying we don't educate on our podcast. Look at me with the facts.
All of this from a pamphlet.
And I don't know if it was just psychological, but this morning when she woke up, her nose was runny, but not as bad. And she wasn't sneezing like crazy. So I feel like even
Something
these
is
small
helping,
steps,
yeah.
it's working. And it's also maintenance. Like I have to wash her sheets and stuff every week now.
Okay.
Which I'm pretty sure I did maybe every month before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
But yeah, so as the steam cleaners, I looked into these because my parents' house and, you know, my house too, like we have a lot of carpets and rugs
Yeah.
everywhere. And so steam cleaning is just something that we've done kind of regularly. But during COVID, we obviously try to do a lot of it ourselves. And I bought a steam cleaner for hardwood floors specifically that in my mind, I thought it worked pretty well. It's pretty easy to use too.
Okay.
But the professionals have a much better equipment and they have better angles too. You know what I mean? So they can really get into the nooks and crannies and underneath the bed. And they're not super expensive. I feel like they're super worth the money.
Okay. Yeah, I think I want to do it. Well, Jess, our friend and neighbor, said that she has a steamer I could borrow. So I might try it myself. Mainly, I want to do the stuff I can't wash. Like,
she has a steam for both carpet and hardwood?
I think so.
Okay.
And even there was like a picture on her thing that was like cleaning a car seat. So I'm like, oh, maybe I can clean our couch. Because it's the stuff that I can't physically like throw into the washer that I want to do.
Yeah. I remember in college, this one group of guys were like crazy partiers. They threw house parties all the time, super druggies, like did a lot of drinking. Anyways, this one guy would always steam clean their apartment because he was also
so responsible.
He's also a neat freak / druggie.
You could be both.
Every single night after the party, he would have to steam clean.
Oh, wow.
And it was like at the time I was like, oh my God, it's a $500 vacuum cleaner. Everyone else is buying $30 ones.
I'm like, did I even have a vacuum in college?
I don't even know what a steam cleaner was until I saw that humongous thing with water tank in it. But
good for him.
Yeah. Good for his
gone
roommates.
far in life.
Somebody taught him about dust mites.
Discipline. Maybe he had a dust allergy.
Maybe.
Because if you grow up with it, I'm sure you're like much more aware of like, maintenance.
Yeah. How did it show up on her back?
It just looks like a big, like swollen. So some parts were just red. And I think he considered that like a 2. But then the dust mites, it was like a raised, like definitely looked like a hive. And he called that 4++. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what those ratings mean, but 4++.
Sounds way higher than a 2. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you figured it out and you have steps and it's not a terrible allergy. You can do things about it.
Totally. And I almost feel like, is that better to be allergic to dust? Because that's something I can maintain versus the pollens. Like, I can't do that much. And she does have some pollen, but it wasn't as bad. So we'll see.
I just can't believe I didn't realize that kids would get allergies at such a young age.
I know.
Especially pollen
I did
ones.
too, though.
Really?
I think I started having
Toddler
allergies.
age?
Yeah, toddler age. Because I remember like being in Wisconsin and I moved out of Wisconsin when I was like 4 or 5 to New York.
I always forget that you were in Wisconsin.
Yes, I was born in Wisconsin,
Okay,
listeners.
Hannah.
I'm a Midwest girl at heart.
No, you're not.
I don't even know what they say differently to try to like have an accent. Oh my gosh, it's 32 minutes. We were like, oh, we're not going to have enough to talk about. Do you want to tell me one thing in random and then we can save the other stuff for next week? Tell me about your boxes.
Oh, yes. Emily's in my house, right, in my attic right now. We have a lot of boxes.
Attic?
I mean, my basement. And I have a lot of boxes staring at her. They're like pots and pans, a fan. They're all new. There's a grillette
you're
here.
Setting up shop here.
No, it looks like I'm a crazy drop shipper or something for very heavy goods. No, my mother-in-law brought all of these over. And she was like, her mom is kind of driving her crazy with all of this stuff. Because Steven's grandmother goes to the casinos.
And wins them?
I don't know what's happening over there, but I think she goes quite often. She's, clearly a
That's the retiree
member.
life I want. What?
She must be playing a lot
that bag?
I think she's just playing a lot of money, and like the more you play, the more like points you redeem and you get these things. And they don't need a million pots and pans or a toolkit. So they told me to sell it and buy stuff for the boys. But the stuff is worth like not a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's almost
But it's brand new.
It is. But I don't know how to really price these things.
I feel like the toolkit, you could get good money for it.
Maybe. I kind of just am pricing them to sell, but then when I price to sell, there are way too many people that are interested, and they're also a bit flaky too.
That's annoying.
And then I get very confused as to like what I'm selling because I have like 15 boxes in front of me right now.
Yeah, it does get confusing. There's not a good way to organize like the messages, right?
Yeah, I wish I could talk to the product manager that manages that part of Facebook Marketplace messaging because it's like I feel like it should be prioritized in some way. Maybe based on like how frequent or how quickly somebody responds.
I sold my slumber pod this week.
Oh.
Which, listeners, if you don't know, it's like a big blackout tent that you can travel with for your baby or toddler, and it goes over like a pack and play.
That's
or
gotta
a
be a
travel
hot
crib.
thing to sell.
It wasn't that hot. I sold it for like $90, which I thought was fair. I think
How
a
much
new
is a
one now
new
is like
one?
almost $200.
Whoa.
But I was also pricing it to sell because I'm like, we got our use out of it. We took on like 2 trips.
Yeah.
And Cassie didn't love it.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to like declutter.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
yes, that's the money I made this week.
Amazing. You're rich. Okay. Okay, well, we'll chat more about all our other topics next week.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in.
Happy Leap Day again. Bye.